Friday night, it was announced that Ryan Grubb was stepping down from Alabama before coaching a game and heading to the NFL, taking his offensive line coach with him, or at least Bama's O-line coach, who also didn't get to coach a game yet. We're going to talk about some options as Coach DeBoer tries to fill that coordinator job right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Let's get this thing started, everybody, with a big Roll Tide. Make sure that you give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And we're on our way to 5,000 subscribers, and we can only thank you guys with a Roll Tide. If you're not part of what we're doing, here's your invitation. What do you say, everybody? It's Mick Gillispie at Broadcaster Mick on the socials, and it is great to talk to you on this Monday as we look at what Alabama could be doing with the offensive coordinator job. First, I want to remind you that we're brought to you by Pearl River Resort, celebrating 30 years over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. It's an hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 hours from Birmingham. They've got Ron White, which is sold out. Cool and the Gang, the Wallflowers, Brian McKnight are all coming there to perform. You got the Vegas-style sports book. You got Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, the spa, table game slots, all of that at Pearl River Resort. Okay, let's talk about this. Ryan Grubb busted out of Tuscaloosa and headed to the NFL to be the Seahawks offensive coordinator. So he's going right back to where he came from. Except instead of working college, he's going to be working in the NFL. And not only is he going, but he's also taking Scott Huff with him. I think a lot of you guys, and we've talked about this, we're more worried about losing Huff, the offensive line coach, hoping that Alabama would improve in that category as much as Grubb. And we joked about it on yesterday's show. It's sick of talking about Ryan Grubb. So let's not talk about him or Sam Huff. They're gone. Or excuse me, Scott Huff. They're gone. So what are the options for Alabama in this position, right? Well, talked about it right off the bat that JaMarcus, Shepard, and Nick Sheridan are the guys that you would think are at the top of the list, with Sheridan calling the plays. Now, I have heard this, and I haven't confirmed it, but some people have said to me, don't be surprised if JaMarcus Shepard doesn't go to the NFL with Grubb. Now, all of a sudden, if you're Coach DeBoer, that wouldn't make you happy. You know, that your offensive coordinator takes your offensive line coach, and then your wide receiver coach goes with them as well. You know, so I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that all of this stuff's being worked out right now. But, you know, word is that Sheridan is a guy that can call plays. He's done it before at Indiana, and that would be kind of the logical step up. They would both get promoted, co-offensive coordinators. Everybody's a co these days. And they'll split the responsibilities up with Sheridan calling the plays. Now, that's one scenario that we've definitely heard about. And you wonder if it's true, you know, kind of some of the and maybe by the time you guys see this, maybe it has happened, and I hope not, but just starting to hear a lot of noise that Shepard could be joining those guys in the NFL. Now, no one has, reported that. So maybe that's all it is just noise, but it's a negotiating ploy if you want it to be, but it's also an opportunity as well to go to the NFL, back to Seattle, where you just were if you liked living there. Maybe that's an easy way to go back. The NFL, obviously, you don't have to recruit, so that it makes it an easier job. But at the same time, you do have to deal with professional athletes, and that's not as fun, you know. So although maybe the fact that college players are paid now, they're professional athletes that just don't act as professional, right? Because they're not as old. I don't know. So we'll see what happens there, but it's definitely worth noting that there are some rumblings that Shepard could be leaving this staff and going. And I know some of you guys have even mentioned it in the comments section. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not co-offensive coordinator. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes with Grubb and Huff to the NFL. I mean, you just never know. Now, another guy who is potentially on this list of guys that could be joining this staff as offensive coordinator is Kirby Moore. You're starting to hear his name now, Missouri's offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Moore was the passing game coordinator, wide receivers coach under DeBoer at Fresno State 20 and 21. So he's familiar with what DeBoer does. And he's also been there at Missouri when the Tigers really shocked the world last year and won 10 games in the conference. I guess they won their bowl game, right? So they won 11 games last year. Off the top of my head, they lost 2 games. One of them was to Georgia. One of them was to LSU, but they were one of the big surprises in college football. Eli Drinkowitz is the head coach. So maybe Moore comes to Alabama. Obviously, Bama's a better job. You got much better talent. They made the most out of the guys that they had last year. But if you come to Tuscaloosa, you're going to have playmakers all over the place. So maybe it could be more. The other thing that tells you that it's a possibility is DeBoer has his own guys, and you're seeing that, as guys come and go, mostly come. I mean, obviously some guys going with Grubb and Huff, but it's the same group of guys. And I think that tells you a lot about Coach DeBoer, how popular he is amongst the people that are around him. And so maybe Moore is someone that you could see come to Tuscaloosa. We'll keep an eye on that as well. Read a story in the Tuscaloosa News where they said, hey, what about Curtis Riggs, former Sioux Falls Storm coach, just because him and DeBoer were college roommates. I don't know that that's a possibility. That would kind of be an off-the-rails hire when DeBoer has the kind of budget he can get anyone. But he does like guys he can trust. So, interestingly enough, I just kind of thought maybe that was kind of throwing something up at, at the wall and seeing if it sticks. But I thought that it was worth bringing up just because of the fact that someone put it on paper and maybe there is a possibility. But really, the names you're hearing, Shepard, Sheridan, and then Moore. Those are the 3 names that we're hearing. As this thing progresses, we'll jump on here and tell you, keep you updated on that and anything else going on. Alabama basketball, after taking care of business at LSU, is off until Saturday. So, they're kind of on the quiet front for the week, getting ready as they have a pretty tough schedule down the home stretch, but still first place in the SEC, not too shabby, trying to defend that conference championship, Nate Oates and the guys this season. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Get in the comments section. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Say Roll Tide and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers, which really is an accomplishment, and I thank you guys for helping make that happen. It's been fun talking football on here. As things, we find out stuff, I'm going to be on here and report on that as well. But that's where we are right now with the offensive coordinator's job. And, that's something big. I mean, you lose a guy, and then you got to go out and fill those shoes. And, we'll try to figure out who that next guy is right here on the channel. But it's going to come soon. I mean, they're not going to wait around long. Spring practice is just around the corner. So look for this to unfold here in the next day or so. Thanks for hanging out with us on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Roll Tide, everybody. Have a great day.